and you're going to be too young to know this.
No, I won't. I've got this.
Minecraft in 2013?
Don't buy her 3 margaritas.
Why?
She will grab your penis and put it in her mouth.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to And They Were Classmates.
Oh my God. They were classmates.
We are so back.
And I'm once again a classmate of
You
sorts.
Yeah.
School is starting.
Today was your second day?
It was my little second day today.
I love that for you.
know? We have a problem on this podcast.
We do?
I'm so dead and dry and boring.
What?
Let's just do it. This is for audio listeners.
For our audio listeners at home, Nolynn just reached down and whipped out a 5-hour energy.
I've never taken one of these.
I don't think I have either.
You always as a kid though, you always kind of look at it and you're like, what is that like?
Oh yeah, you're
Just 5 hours? Like how?
5 hours. If I drink half of it, will I get 2.5 or half
What
as much
happens
energy for 5 hours?
After the 5 hours.
Yeah. I think if your excitement lasts for more than 5 hours, you're supposed to call your doctor.
If you get erectile dysfunction too, that's weird. All right, bottoms
All
up.
right, good luck.
Mm.
All right. I'm so glad that our audio is picking up you slurping a little bit. Just a little bit.
It's sharp. Am I already shaking? I'm already jittering.
I can't wait to see between this and the list of topics.
I know, right? I'm
This
gonna
is-
finish them all in 5 minutes. All right, I'm
All right.
in.
You're locked in.
I'm locked in.
Dude, just lock the fuck in. You took your nitro. It's time.
Took my nitro.
Sorry,
Nitro
wrong
splash.
season. Wrong season. My bad. I haven't played any of the new Fortnite season.
Not a drop.
No, I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been deep in Roblox and reading A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
I
like it thus far.
I shit you not. Since the last podcast, I have read well over 2,000 pages
Damn.
of the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. For those interested, I'm on a Court of War and Fury, the third one. I don't remember. It's hard to keep track of the titles in my head because they're all a court of this and that, except for the last one, which was a Court of Silver Flame.
Yeah. I was, there was this members only book club that Ludwig was doing.
Mm-hmm.
And we were supposed to read, I think it was House of Leaves. We were supposed to read it by September 29th or something. And then he canceled it.
How
So
dare
now I
he.
just have a book that
have a
I
book.
wasn't reading it. I wasn't halfway through it or anything, but now I don't know
But
what
now
I'm
you
going to
just
do with
now you
it.
just have it.
Because I only wanted it. I didn't only want it. I don't know.
That's unfathomable to me. I have so many books.
Yeah.
I read all the time, but that's also because I don't have very much else to do with my day.
Yeah.
Besides go and enjoy the lovely world of A Court of Thorns and Roses and hanging out with my lovely Resander, my lovely Resand, my boy.
Yeah, I streamed a couple days ago.
Oh yeah, you did stream.
Because I was talking to my bartender, not my bartender, but the bartender at work, just a lot about content creation and stuff. And I just felt really shitty. It's yeah, I haven't streamed since late July or late June. And so I just felt really bad about that. I'm let me at least get one stream in before the school year, before my next shift, just so I have something to talk about. And it's not the fourth shift in a row where it's making content. Haven't made podcast, but so that was nice.
Yeah, that's always good. I still have yet to actually put together a stream, but that's just
what was your
because
due date?
You
said
don't.
September. You
Yeah.
said something last podcast. I don't exactly remember.
Yeah, I think it was in September was I wanted to start streaming, or something similar to that. I might have said by September at one point, but I think that was before I realized how many doctor's appointments I was going to have to give myself in the week after I got back from vacation.
I don't think you said by September.
Okay.
On the podcast.
I don't know. You would know. You've
that,
heard it.
That might have been a
anyway.
self goal, but I don't think I ever heard
Maybe.
by September.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, my goal is to start streaming in September. At least get at least once, either on YouTube or Twitch.
Yeah, it's tough because I like YouTube because the streams stay there, and it's like nice to have your little like channel ecosystem. You can have your videos, your shorts, and your live, and they're all separate tabs, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like Twitch is just the better streaming platform. Like it's Twitch. It's streaming.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about uploading on Twitch and then just uploading my VODs on YouTube.
Yeah, my problem with that is then they just don't get any views, and it's just kind of embarrassing. It's like, here are all of my VODs. 0 views, 2 views, 0 views, 3 views.
It'd be like that. Maybe I can stream simultaneously. That probably wouldn't be too hard with OBS, since that's gonna be I'm not gonna be trying to use like Twitch's built-in streaming stuff.
Yeah. Multi-streaming, I think I should probably be multi-stream, but then I don't want to like divide the chat and be like, oh, I'm responding to a message. Oh, this one was in Twitch chat, and it's like people who are watching on YouTube. So like,
you'll
I want
only
it to all
watch
be in
the
one
chat
spot.
of the one that has more subscribers. If you want to be
Exactly,
listened to,
yeah.
get your friends to subscribe.
We're at war with the other chat.
You're just like Twitch streamers who don't look at their YouTube chat at all.
Yeah.
Is that why you don't want to alienate your YouTube audience? Is because you've been there?
Yeah. Too many times.
I wish I had the attention span for Twitch streams. I really do, but I have to watch them edited down but that's not even. I feel bad saying it's like an attention span thing because I don't even really like watching long form unedited content in general. Besides, like, I guess you could count podcasts as like, or like actual play podcasts for like D&D.
Yeah.
That's about it.
A lot of times when I have a stream up, I like naturally start doing a second thing, unless it's on a TV, I guess. Sometimes I do TV, in the basement with a blanket live stream.
Oh yeah.
But most of the time it's like, if it's in my room on my computer, I'll just put the live stream on, then I'll either end up scrolling Twitter or like cleaning my room or some shit like that.
Yeah,
just finding something else to do.
I do like putting on VODs while I'm like drawing or doing something like that. Like because then it's something that I know is going to be super long. Like it's so much easier to put on like an 8-hour-long video.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something that I don't necessarily want to have to like listen to too hard. Like, because if I'm listening to like a video essay, like I'm listening to it. Like I'm doing it because I'm playing a game that I don't need to listen to.
Right.
So then I'm like, oh yeah, then I'll put on this 8-hour-long video that's about every episode of Daria broken down and what like the producers were trying to say with each episode. Like, yeah, that's a good like while I'm playing this mindless Roblox game thing. But if I'm like drawing or doing something that I have to like think about a little more, which sounds weird, but I have to think more when I'm drawing than when I'm playing video games usually. I'm like, okay, then I'll put on a Roblox stream for like let me watch Queso Dress to Impress for a couple hours,
Right.
Whatever. Something I can kind of flit up and back between.
Every time I'm like, because like I'll play Fortnite, play a little battle royale with some live stream in the background, but then it'll get to Fortnite Festival because I kind of go through the ecosystem a little bit, especially because like they all have their amount of daily challenges, and it's like, I'm not like the craziest rocket racing fan, nor do I want to play the same 120 level obby in creative, but it's like those are each like 60,000 XP every single day, so it's like
true. Might as well.
But when it comes festival, it's so sad because like I've tried every combination of trying to keep a live stream on and play Fortnite Festival. It just doesn't work. But I don't want to pause my slop while I'm like hitting the notes. So like I've tried like earbuds in Fortnite with live stream on speaker. That doesn't work. And then I'll have like live stream and Fortnite Festival both in earbuds, like live stream turned down. That doesn't work. I've just tried every single combination.
It's because it's a rhythm game. You have to lock in.
It is, unfortunately.
I see. That's the thing is I was really into rhythm games during lockdown. Specifically, I got really into Clone Hero because I figured out how to download it for the first time.
Right.
My friend Ethan finally like talked me through it because it's a bitch and a half to download. I'm not gonna lie, especially when you're trying to download. He sent me a Google Drive zip file to open that had all the songs because the way Clone Hero works, to be able to do co-op with people, you all have to have the song downloaded.
Right.
Which makes sense. So he sent me like how many he had downloaded. So I had to throw in a like 4,000 song zip bomb that I had to wait for it to load in too, which took forever. So by the time I finally had it loaded up and I had this giant list that was full of like anime openings from one friend, like a bunch of rock and stuff from another friend, like pop music from one, like a bunch of random stuff. I spent like all of quarantine, just like destroying my laptop's computer keys.
Yeah, because it's
slamming
just
down
an
on
infinite
them.
list of music.
Well, yeah, and especially because in Clone Hero, you have to play on expert like the entire time. You don't have options because most of them are only created in expert. So it doesn't, even if there's other options, it's easier to just leave it in expert. So I'm also learning how to play Guitar Hero on expert on my fucking little,
Right.
yeah, on my little gamer laptop.
Somehow 230 milligrams of caffeine is making me better at eye contact. I don't know why. Normally I can't hold eye contact for this long.
No, yeah, you're like looking.
I don't know what about it. I felt it would, if I had to guess, it would be the other way, where it's like I'm like really jittery with where I'm looking.
No, it's 'cause it's
I've
fake.
never been able to hold eye contact like this. Is this the equivalent to having 2 drinks with autism?
I think you just took Adderall.
I think I did.
It's like when a person with ADHD finds out they have ADHD because they like take Adderall for the first time and they calm down instead of getting really like wound up or whatever you're supposed to feel.
Yeah.
I don't know, because everyone I know that's tried to take Adderall has found out they had ADHD.
Yeah.
Or something that Adderall helped. And they were like, why does this make me feel better? But not in the way that all of my friends are like tweaking right now.
Yeah. As I was getting ready for my stream, I had like some things to do. So I did my makeup in my car in this little like dead end near where I live. Sort of like an unfinished neighborhood, I guess. So there are like 3 houses in like a bigger area with, and they're building more houses every year. And I get done with just like, 10 to 15 minutes of makeup. And I pull out and there's just a drone watching me.
Hello?
I know. And so then I back out. I do a little wave at the drone and I back out. And I kind of like, I don't know, I was freaked out. So I drove directly to the police station, not to like, not that I was going to go in and like report it, but just in case somehow they were like following me for whatever reason, it would be right there.
There were probably people that like own the property that you were on that were like trying to scope it out that way and were like,
That's
hey, why
the
is
thing.
someone parked here?
It's like I was at the dead end and then there's like 2 vacant, like just lots where like they're going to build houses and then like maybe one more and then a house here and then a house here. So it's like all the houses are really far away from where I was. And like, I guess I get it. If like a vehicle like mine just like parks, it could probably look suspicious.
Yeah.
But
I
like
think
the drone is great because it was less than like 10 feet away from my face too.
That's why I'm like, I don't think it was like a security thing or anything. I think it was legitimately just them being like, whose car is this? Like, why are they parked in front of the
But then they like
lots?
kept watching. That's what's weird. Is like if you check it out and you like try to get a face and like maybe you're recording and then you fly back away, like why wait until like I see the drone? And then as I was like pulling out, they flew the drone higher to like it felt
because
like
they wanted you to know that they were watching, that they knew you were there, in case you were trying to like stake out the houses.
That's what I was doing.
Clearly, in broad daylight while you're doing your makeup.
That's the trans agenda.
Either that or they might have been trying to see, depending on what makeup you were doing, if you were holding like a compact or something, they might have been checking to see if you were like doing cocaine.
A little bit.
To see if you were doing like drugs.
There's a little bit of cocaine in my foundation.
Because to be fair, when you're thinking about it, if you just see from like someone bent over, like moving, like touching their face, you're kind of like, maybe they're doing,
A little bit. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. As a
I
treat.
like to bark at the dead end.
I mean,
and
that's basically
do my
what you-
cocaine makeup.
That's what you basically just did.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
Liquid cocaine.
This episode is sponsored by 5 Hour Energy.
I wish we had sponsors.
One of these days.
As long as we don't become. Sometimes I watch podcasts and I'm like, how much money did these people give you? Because you are talking almost as much about whatever this ad is almost as long as like the entire discussion that you had before this ad.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes, especially like for some reason, a lot of book club podcasts that I listen to, because they'll have like 3 sponsors, but one of them they mention like 3 or 4 times in a video, and it's like a 30 to.
Is it because they end up mentioning it in the discussion?
Well, no, it's like it's like a 30 to 45 second ad that they just like put in there, and it's like, and you can tell because they like, if you're watching the video, they're wearing like different shirts and stuff. Like it's clear it's like a pre-recorded ad, and it's like, how much money did they pay you?
Mm-hmm.
And how do I get some? How do we get that?
Yeah, where's our? Hey, we had a 1 out of 10 video today. And
That's true.
For anyone who doesn't know, 1 out of 10 is good on YouTube. 10 out of 10 is bad.
We got confetti today.
We got it in. When did we upload? Like just over 24 hours ago at
Yeah.
the time of recording.
At time of recording.
We got 60 views, which doesn't sound like, but it was a 1 out of 10 for if they rank our latest videos.
Well, 60
1
views
out of
in
10.
less than 24 hours for us.
That's insane.
Yeah.
As someone who's been at this since 2011, that's insane.
That's crazy for you to say considering you were like 10.
6. Yeah.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because
You're
it
like
sounds
10.
weird.
10 is the lowest number Nolynn can be in 2011. Any lower than that, I will not accept.
Look, I know how much younger than me you are, but I don't like to think too hard about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like to think about the fact that you don't remember Blockbuster Video.
No, not really.
But I'm wearing the shirt because I miss Blockbuster Video because
A
where we
little
live,
more family video. Oops.
yeah, where we live, we had Blockbusters for a bit longer than a lot of other places.
Sure.
Because here in Gamerco, New Mexico,
Nice one. Nice one.
we everyone's a little bit behind, and that's why we had family videos until 2019, something like that.
Roughly.
Yeah.
Was it pandemic?
I think the pandemic. I genuinely think the pandemic killed our family videos, unfortunately, which is really funny because now, like, almost all of the ones like in like this town at least were attached to other things. So now there's just like a giant empty family video building, and then like attached to it, like the Dollar General's still open.
Right.
The Marcos is still open. The Little Caesars is still open. You know, like those, like all the
And
little.
those fucking prisms, man.
Yeah, dude.
Like they'll never go away, and it's just the checkpoint of like a family video was here.
Yeah, no, there's like a small business that just went into one of the family videos around here, and it kind of makes me laugh because they didn't remove, like, you can't get rid of most of the very distinguishable family video things.
Why do I not see a blinking red light on that? Oh, I do. Never mind. Go on. Sorry. 230 milligrams. Sorry.
Dude, the 5-hour energy going crazy
It
on
does.
you right now.
It does. I've counted all of those hexagons. No, I'm kidding.
I have counted every single. There's so many sound canceling pads in this room. That would actually that'd be a bitch and a half to do, actually. But anyway, the buildings are like so distinct. It's kind of like when it reminds me of the old Pizza Hut buildings.
Oh yeah.
How there's still there's a law office on like the main Dragon Town that still has the old Dunkin' Donuts roof specifically.
I don't think I know that.
Because there was a time when Dunkin' Donuts was leaning like super, super heavily into the pink and orange, and they were like building their own stores. There was a time they would have pink and orange roofs. At least a couple of them did around here. So there's a law office around here that used to have a pink and orange roof, but now they've painted over it, and now it's dark blue and white. And the side and the building is white. But it used to be that the roof was pink and orange still, and the sides were still that like Dunkin' Donuts cream color that like all the buildings are. It was really funny to me for a long time.
I haven't even slouched yet.
I'm so
we
proud
are
of
17 minutes in, and I haven't even slouched yet.
I think we discovered the secret.
We might. It would suck if I got
Nolynn starts
hooked on
abusing
these.
substances.
Yeah, because I've avoided caffeine for most of my life just because it's like there's like the whole caffeine addiction thing, but I don't want it to become like a dependency, and I feel like that's all too common.
I'm gonna make you watch the Saved by the Bell episode where the girl gets addicted to caffeine pills. I'm so excited. That's where that's from. Yeah, it's like that's one of those things that really. You know how last week I was talking about like a very special episode, and like that was one of those. Because I don't remember the name of the main girl, because I haven't watched Saved by the Bell since I was like 10, but she's becoming a pop star,
right? And
she's also trying to maintain her high school life, but in like a 90s way. So she's focusing on school instead of being a pop star. And she starts taking caffeine pills to stay awake. And then Zach Morris like takes them from her, and she like starts sobbing into his arms about how she's addicted to caffeine pills, and she's like 14.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit! I'm trying to watch Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, I'm hoping this doesn't become a Wednesdaily thing. It's also a completely different time of day we're recording.
Yeah, we are.
That can also play a factor. I had classes today versus normally I'm like fresh out of bed.
Yeah, for context, before we were recording at like 11 in the morning, which sounds
11:45.
Yeah. By the time you got here.
Wow. Yeah, I was bad near the end.
It's all good. It's not that big of a deal. No, but so we were recording at like 11, but both of us stay up. Well, I don't stay up super late. I was always in a weird space because I wake up super early in the morning. I wake up between 5 and 7 in the morning usually because I have chronic illnesses that wake me up. And then I read your text from 2:30 the morning before and I respond.
A little bit.
So, you know,
text.
Yeah, it happens. You know, it's like how I send all of my friends that work second shift, so they all wake up at noon. And they all wake up to like 50 TikToks from me that I've been sending them since 5 that morning because I've been doing nothing but sitting out on my porch drinking water, breathing fresh air, and scrolling through TikTok. Try not to die challenge. It's all good.
Chappell Roan is in Fortnite.
Wait, actually?
And Charlie XCX in the same update.
That's crazy.
Yes.
What Chappell Roan song?
Hot to Go. It's really funny how Fortnite Festival, they like struggle to keep up with like the popular music because it was just last week they added Espresso. Yeah. And this week they've got Hot to Go, and it's like they're just like in like 4 months they're gonna have Taste and they'll be like, yeah, we got that one.
It's because the VMAs are coming up, so now a lot of the pop stars are starting to throw their music out there.
Yeah, but it's just funny how like delayed it has to be with like when the song comes out and gets popular versus when it's added to Fortnite Festival, because there's that whole they don't like anticipate what's gonna be popular, nor do the artists like contact Fortnite.
I can't believe that
I'm
Roblox
explaining things on the podcast. I don't do that.
That's true.
I don't explain little things with my fingers.
I can't believe that we had Roblox Dress to Impress Brat update before we had Fortnite Brat update, though.
Exactly. Yeah.
Shout out to Dress to Impress lore, by the way. I've been I finally have started participating in it because I don't know if you know anything about Dress to Impress lore. Yeah, there's Dress to Impress lore.
And this is community made, or they're starting like...
This is made by the creator, Gigi, my beloved, who's 17.
Like, is it like Elden Ring lore where it's kind of like hidden, you have to piece it together? Or is there like a... Okay.
Because you actually have to like go to other games and like check like user profiles on Roblox, like a whole thing, because there's a whole storyline about the... So when you're playing Dress to Impress, you can change your nails, and there's this little like nail salon area with Lana sitting in front of it. And there's been this whole like weird creepy shit keeps coming up. There's actually there was what's known as the meat room, like weird demonic images associated with Lana, like they're like hidden around the map, right? They're not in like the main map at all. They're all like, you have to go through this wall and now you're in this like room that's basically made out of meat, and then it hints towards Lana. Like it's been a lot of stuff like that. And then recently Lana disappeared from her spot in the new update after the Brat update, and you can find her like caged underneath the thing, and now they just hired a new nail tech named Lena.
God.
And Lana has her own Roblox page that has like it's like a profile that has a game on it that you can actually play. It's I don't know what it's technically called. I call it Lana's Meat Maze because it's the same, like I think it's the same texture if I remember right. But you can get like an exclusive dress by completing that. But it's like part of the lore, and it's like it's just like a lot of weird little pieces that aren't, I doubt, like they're not actually building into anything like super deep, but it's just fun little creepy shit that someone's putting in their little Roblox game. And I like it because now like Lena has her own Roblox page, and there's this whole lore about like don't trust her, like whatever, and there's like lore about like a fake Lana that took the place of the OG Lana because Dress to Impress is an older game. It got really popular recently with its most as it updated the new map that it has now. But it's been apparently, I didn't know. I'm going to be fully honest with you. I don't know shit about Roblox until like this year. It's been out for a while. So Lana had a different model before. And down in the, where I said like she was caged up like underneath, there was like the old Lana model, and that was like marked as like Lana 1, and then an empty cage marked as Lana 2.
Wow.
It's crazy. The lore is insane.
That's so cool.
No, but it's just I think it's fun. It reminds me of like Flash games and old ARGs and stuff. Reminds me of old internet.
I wish work at a pizza place had lore like that. Work at a pizza place is so fun. Have you ever dipped your toes?
I have not dipped my
a
toes
little
into any of the working games.
We
besides
should have a
Power
work at a
Wash
pizza place session. Because that's like one of my favorite Roblox games when I'm getting back into it. Because like when you're a kid, it's just because you get to choose between like cashier, cook, pizza boxer, delivery, or on break where you can decorate your house.
Yeah. I'm being so for real when I offer this. Do you want to do a Roblox stream together?
Yeah.
Since we both want to get back into streaming.
Yeah.
We can do Dress to Impress and whatever, work at a pizza place.
Yeah. That can happen.
And then we can go into like stupid brain rot ones because I love like 17 cart ride into 17 pregnant hyenas. 10 out of 10.
There was a protest down there, right? I saw the tweet. There was like a bunch of people like clogging the track.
Yeah.
They were protesting something. I don't remember now.
Dude, it's impossible to play unless you want to get a private server. It is impossible to play cart ride into 17 pregnant hyenas. I'm not even kidding. Because my friend Blake, who I talk about a lot, I found out he has Roblox downloaded on his PS4. So I forced him to play it. I was like, no, this is what we're doing now. We're hanging out as a group. We're eating dinner, and you're gonna play Roblox for us. And we went. We went to the Artanic, where we went through the Titanic, but in Roblox. It was very accurate. And I got everyone to safety. Just saying, I was fucking rowing that boat, dude. We were fine.
There's room for 2 on that door.
Exactly. No, but then we were like going to like brain rot obbies that were shit like escape P Diddy's house, whatever.
Course.
And I was like, I want to show you guys this one, and I was trying to show them cart ride into 17 pregnant hyenas, and I could not. You could not get into a cart. Once you were on there were people standing on the tracks, and I was not going to force Blake to pay real money for a private server.
How much are they charging for private servers on that one?
I don't even know.
Because it can vary. You can set the price of a private server. So some are like simple, like just 100 Robux. Others are like pay up.
He kept
500, 1,000.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I think for Dress to Impress to make a private server is pretty cheap from what I remember. But I think it's because as like a game, you don't really want private server on Dress to Impress unless you're doing free play and you just want to craft and do nothing else. But even then, you can just do that in free play. You don't need a private server for that.
Yeah, work at a pizza place is sick though, because they have this one game pass that I bought when I was like 12, where whenever the manager leaves the game, it asks you if you want to teleport to the manager's office and become the manager instantly.
Holy
so
shit.
Normally like the manager can like leave the game and it's kind of like a rush to get there. I just paid the amount to instantly teleport there. So I usually only have to play for like 10 to 20 minutes before, that 8-year-old has to go eat dinner. Yeah. And then I become the manager, and I'm so fun as a manager. Like I'm just because like
putting your Firehouse Subs experience to work.
A little bit. And then there's this like island that just has like 1,000 gold, and people never believe me. And I'm like, do you want to go to the island with 1,000 gold? And they're like, sure. And then I take them there, and there's 1,000 gold. And they're like, oh my God. I'm like, exactly.
No, I'm like weirdly obsessed with there's a power washing simulator 2 on there. Or whatever it's technically called. Just because it's so it's one of those games that I can just turn my brain off and listen to a video essay while I play. Like I listen to my video essay, I clean off my mansion one by one, make my dollars per second, refuse to spend real money on it. Because I spent real money on Dress to Impress and on making a stupid little avatar for when I'm in obbies, and that's it. Because I have a stupid little cat, and then I got the Brat shirt when the Brat Dress to Impress event was happening, so I could have a Brat shirt with titties. So the little cat's wearing a cunty little Brat crop top.
Sick. Yeah. Shit. Wait. I had a thing on that. Wait. Repeat your point again.
That I had.
I remember now.
There we go.
It's
I'm
been
so
an
proud.
interesting year for you because you finally played Fortnite and you finally played Roblox.
Yeah.
That must be like insane.
All it took was my frontal cortex developing.
Right. That hit like 100%, and you're like,
and I was like, oh my God, I need to play Peak.
I know what I've been missing. Yeah.
No, I think it's just that I was finally able to like move past. I finally embraced the full like to be cringe is to be free.
Yeah.
Like, and that's I live by that now. I've finally moving past the shame of being in high school and people being like, what do you mean you still like Minecraft?
Right.
Oh,
did you see the Minecraft movie trailer?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Wait, finish your point on being cringe as being cool,
And
then we'll discuss.
that I was so like, because I was in high school during like the one of the biggest down periods of Minecraft. I was in high school from
What
2015 to 2019. I graduated in
Yeah.
2019, so right before it came back.
Until PewDiePie started playing that shit, it was in a big cringe era.
Yeah, and I was still wearing Minecraft t-shirts
Wow.
because that was my special interest. I'm still planning on getting a Minecraft tattoo because that was my special interest for years.
Yeah.
Years. And even now it's still like it's always there. I'm always active in the Minecraft community, even if I don't play super frequently anymore, just because I don't have the time and I haven't bought it again yet. Because I just
You
haven't.
didn't migrate the account or some shit.
Yeah, no, I didn't migrate the account. Rip JessieBug6501.
They gave you
For
4
real.
fucking years.
And I played for like 6 weeks. Like 4 months during quarantine and 6 weeks outside of that.
It is really fucked though that they don't let you like claim another account. They're like, sorry, your username and any progress you made on like servers will be deleted, but we will let you. You literally paid for the game. Here's your copy.
You know
like,
what?
That's insane.
At least I'll be unbanned from LD Shadow Lady's
There we go.
Minecraft server. I'm finally out of jail.
Well, no, that's ban evading. So I'm gonna tell the admins
Please,
immediately.
please, no. Please don't get me. Please don't
Like
put me
my
back
friend
in jail.
Jesse actually created a new account.
It was so painful because it wasn't even banned. I didn't even get banned. I got jailed.
Yeah.
So I could log in, and then I was stuck in a jail cell forever. That's evil as fuck.
And is it like a little void jail cell, or do you get to see other people?
No, I get to see other people.
Oh my god,
It's in Spawn.
that's crazy.
It's evil as
It's
fuck.
like the box of shame and Despicable Me.
It is. I'm in fucking solitary.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now
Right.
I'll never know, because technically you can't be perma-jailed, but I was jailed for like 6,000 days or something like that, and I was gonna come back in like 30 years and be like, or however many days. That's probably something ridiculous. That's
Yeah.
probably like an insane amount of years, but I don't have a calculator on me to do that math. So.
If we just round down and say a year is 300 days. Sorry, math heads. You're gonna see some incorrect math on this podcast.
Sorry,
What's 6,000 divided by 300?
sorry, math heads. This is girl math. So round down to
So that's like
300.
roughly 20 years, give or take. Like we'll say
Yeah.
24, 25. Nobody correct me.
Yeah, girl
You'll
math.
you will be banned from the comments if you correct my math right here. 6,000 days is 20 to 25
On
years.
this, on this podcast only, we should in the comments mute actually.
Yeah. You're done.
Actually, no.
You're
Not allowed.
Done.
You're only allowed to say actually in our comments if you're talking about the lovely show by dropout.tv.
I'm
Samurai
in-
my beloved.
I'm in quantitative reasoning now.
I took that.
Yeah, because they were like, you can either do like algebra or you can do quantitative reasoning.
I took quantitative reasoning, and it was all math that I'd done in high school.
Exactly. So I was reading the like course outline for what we were going to learn, and I was mistaking it for like what you need to know coming into the class. And then I was like reading it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I got that. And then I reread the like title of the section. I'm like, oh, that's what we're learning for a semester.
When I took that class, I don't know who's teaching it now, but when I took it, my professor, so the way that he ran it was we would do notes day 1, and then we would have a quiz day 2 on whatever we were doing. And then we had like because we had the giant math book, we had like a list of stuff that we had to have done by Monday. And then so we were kind of, he fully admitted, he was like, this class is a lot of stuff that you learn in high school, so I'm going to kind of, if you need help, these are my office hours that are before the class on Monday. So you can, I think he had office hours on Monday and the class was Tuesday, Thursday.
Right.
So it worked out really, really well for basically teaching ourselves that, doing one lecture and then having a quiz. The thing was that after that lecture, he would hand out a study guide for the quiz, which was the quiz, but with different numbers. And then for the quiz, we also got a sheet of lined paper front and back that we could write whatever we wanted on.
Love that.
So I would just copy it all over. I would do it, and then I'd have my dad check it, because my dad is crazy good at math. He has multiple degrees. His bachelor's is in mathematics. He has a master's in accounting. So I'd have him double check it to make sure it was right, and then I just take that in.
Wow.
And I got 100% in that class.
Yeah.
It's the only math class I have ever gotten that solid of an A in, and it's definitely the only one that I've ever gotten 100% in. Because I'm usually not that great at math.
Yeah.
I had to work really hard in all my math classes compared to my other classes.
I'm like all right with it, but I haven't taken a math class since junior year of high school. So we'll see. We'll see what remains.
I took that math class my first semester of college, and that was the only math class that I had to take for the entirety of college. It was
I'm
great.
guessing my shit will probably be the same. I don't even know yet, though.
I don't know. Depends on what your bachelor's is going to be, and if you decide to do that.
Yes. A Minecraft movie.
Yeah,
A
it's
Minecraft
not
movie.
the Minecraft movie. It's a Minecraft movie.
Do you think the next will be, if there's a next, another
Heavy
Minecraft
if.
movie?
I think that they were really hoping to be able to do that, but
It just like looks so freaky.
I think that they would have had a better movie if they had made Minecraft story mode live action.
That or even
I need everyone to I need everyone to apologize to Minecraft story mode in the comments of this podcast.
yeah.
I know that some of you are listening on Spotify and you don't have comments, but I need you to go to our YouTube channel and
No,
hit
you do
subscribe,
have the-
and then also
On Spotify you have the little Q&A.
oh
and
yeah,
I
there
think
is.
I
Yeah,
think
submit into
it's
our Q&A.
automatically set to like, what did you think about this episode? No, what does it say? I don't remember.
I don't know what you have. I don't know what you have.
It's just the default setting. It's
Yeah.
like
Put in our Q&A section how you feel about. That's all we care about.
yeah. Yeah, the Wither Storm was so sick. Anyway, but the new movie, like it just looked like some scenes like they almost give like that like AI video feel.
Yeah.
And
No,
I don't
it-
like that.
It looks odd. It feels like they weren't sure how realistic they wanted to go without. It feels like there is this image that used to go around, and you're gonna be too young to know this.
No, I won't. I've got this.
Minecraft in 2013.
Roughly. Like I know like the
So-
idea of like the
Of the meme. Yeah, so it's
like this will be Minecraft in 2013
Yeah,
and it's like a
I'm-
over exaggerated realistic.
yeah, it's
thing.
genuinely scary how much it looks like those images. It reminds me of when everyone was obsessed with having the hyper realistic Minecraft mods with Optifine, with HD Craft, with like trying to get it as close to real life while still being squares as possible, which I never enjoyed.
No, those
I-
videos were cool for like the first couple seconds and then you're like, yeah, but it's Minecraft.
Yeah, and you know their computer sitting there like like because that's so much. That's
Yeah.
so much. I was always if I was putting a texture pack on my Minecraft, it was always fantasy themed.
Mm-hmm.
It was always fantasy themed
Sick.
or cutesy because I was, like 12. Shocking thing about being a preteen girl.
I was a faithful 32X main for a while.
That's fair.
But eventually it just gets to a point where it's like you're updating it every single release and you're like, you know what? Let's just play vanilla. Now it's like a mix between like the programmer, because like I get in phases where I want it to be programmer art and then I want like the type of programmer art textures that fill in the rest of the textures to look like programmer art. And then I get to a point where like I want my game to look like beta, and so like the grass looks all freaky and weird.
Yeah.
And then I reach a point where I'm like, no, I actually like the modern textures the most. I go in a weird cycle with it.
Now it's a lot easier because of how they have the resource packs built in a lot more than they used to. Because like when I was first putting texture packs in was back when to put in texture packs, you had to like go into the Minecraft files.
And replace all the textures at once.
Yeah, well, you didn't even have to do that. You just had to, because luckily, by the time I started, they did have the built-in texture pack
okay,
folder, so you could just put it in and sort it. But I remember in the before times when you would have to, like, my friend who showed me Minecraft before I convinced my dad to buy it for me had a folder on his home screen that was just like Minecraft texture pack zip files that he would drag and drop depending on which, because he was one of those kids that had different texture packs for different worlds.
Wow.
Because he and I were both like really, really into it.
Mm-hmm.
That and Nintendo games were like our two biggest. But crazy how the kids that you meet doing karate are also really into Minecraft and and Mario. It's just how it goes. I don't know. I feel like that's like a very like it's like a stereotype, I feel like. It's like that specific genre of kid.
Sure.
It's like high energy and like that.
I didn't meet a lot of those kids growing up, unfortunately.
I don't know.
Because, like, I was that type of kid, but I never really found, like, that crowd or even that person a lot of the times.
See, the secret was hanging out while all of our parents did the karate class after our kids' class.
Mm-hmm.
So we were all sitting around and playing DS games, Game Boy game. That was the first time I played a Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Was one of the kids handed me one and was like, hey, like, you don't have some, do you need something to do? And I was like, yeah. I used to bring, that was the same karate class that I used to bring my my dad and I's laptop to when we were sharing one. And the rule was I could play.
It would be me and my dad's laptop.
Yeah. I could play, the rule was I could play Grand Theft Auto Vice City as long as I had the blood off. So, because all, like, the other parents had agreed that was fine. Because they were like, oh, they would never go into, like, all of the weird stuff because we were right here. We always would, like, go straight to the strip club, like, whatever. Because we're a bunch of, like, 13-year-old kids.
Yeah,
like,
just check behind the shoulder.
Yeah.
Any adults watching?
Okay, you guys watch. We're going to get to the strip club, and then we're all going to look over. We're all going to... We had, like, a watch schedule set up. Mm-hmm. And it didn't help that we could hide, like, but... the second building, my karate school, like, always rented, so they've moved around a couple of times. They've still, like... I think they've moved twice since I stopped going, like 10 years ago. But because my dad still goes, and the place that they were renting at the time, it was pretty easy for us to kind of like hide in the corner and like kind of fuck around in ways we weren't supposed to.
Yeah.
But they didn't really care as long as we didn't interrupt the class or get in trouble. Like, and we were just sitting around looking at Grand Theft Auto boobies. It really didn't matter. But it was fun. It was super fun. I miss like doing having like set group activities like that, I guess, which sounds weird, but like I don't have like clubs or anything to hang out with anymore now as an adult. Right. Closest thing I have to that is like going to work. And I'm like, that's not what I want. I want a bunch of people that have one interest together.
Yeah.
So I need to join a book club. I really think I do.
Have something to look forward to. I have been protesting, maybe not protesting, but I've been...
You have a change.org petition.
A little petition.
Yeah.
And I've been going around to lunch tables because they changed something near and dear to this campus and its main campus. They changed our danged meal plan system. I don't know if it's across all of the organization or if it's just, just this and that. I love being non-specific. They changed it. So you with a meal swipe, for anyone who doesn't know, you used to be able to get a entree, side, and a drink, and it would just count as one. And you could pick how many meal swipes you wanted per week. They had like, I think it's like 10, 14, 21, and 28 or something like that. Yeah. And so it was like, it was kind of expensive, but like in the end, it's like sort of worth it because it's like, yeah, that's a lot like per swipe. I don't know if I'd like be able to make up that amount if I was just doing it with money. So it was like, it's whatever. They changed it now. So a meal swipe is only worth $7.50.
Which is insane.
Which just doesn't even get you chicken tenders and fries.
It doesn't get
chicken tenders and fries is $7.99.
Yeah, you can't get any food for that cheap on anywhere. On
you can campus. You can get like, because like I think the fries are like $2.99 now and the chicken tenders are $4.99. So it's like
you can get one.
I don't know.
Or the
Yeah,
other.
you can get one or the other, but it's just like $7.50 so outrageous to call that a meal swipe.
Yeah, no.
And because they changed it so it's meal equivalency instead of meal exchange now, and it's like you $7.50 is not equivalent to a meal. Like
it's not
from the base of what it is. So when I heard about this, I was like, damn, I'm pissed off about this. A lot of people are gonna be pissed off about this. I should make a little flyer in Google Docs. And so I did, and I printed like 100 of them for free. And that was sick because I'd never used the printing services here.
You used the printing services here for that?
And because I mean it's academic related enough, right? I'm sure if I asked someone, hey, could I use the printing services here to protest a decision by the organization, they'd probably say no. But it's like ask for forgiveness, not permission.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
like, I love that
How was I
mindset.
supposed to know?
Mm-hmm. So I printed out about 100 of them and was just handing them out to lunch tables. And it's not one of those things that it's kind of like yes or no about. It's like, do you feel screwed over by the changes made to the meal plan system? And like everyone who used it last year is like, yes.
Yeah.
And so it's an easy flyer. And it's a flyer that kind of just describes the changes that are on, and then it has a little change.org petition at the bottom. And so I was just going around to tables being like, do you feel screwed over by the system? Or like, what the changes that were made? If they're like, yes. Even if they're like, no, I kind of describe it. And then just upon that description, they're like, yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, yeah, here, if you want to just post this to your story or, sign the petition, that'd be appreciated.
I just think it's insane to change the...
That might have been my longest ever, not uninterrupted, I guess, but my longest thing on this podcast ever.
Maybe. Your longest monologue.
My longest monologue.
There you go. Soliloquy, if you will. No, but I think that's insane because they also didn't announce it at all.
No.
They didn't. People found out day one, right?
Yeah, there might be some old email from June 15th or some shit. But it should have been like an excessive amount of emails. It should have been on the meal plan enrollment page. It should have been
really annoying.
Yeah, it should have been like impossible to escape.
Well, because that also gets rid of the value of having the meal swipe to me. Because you can't really, at that point, you might as well just be bringing your money every day.
Mm-hmm. And they don't accept cash anymore.
What?
They don't accept cash anymore.
How the
fuck?
Why?
It's just credit or debit only. Or dining dollars and meal equivalency.
I paid in cash every single day I ate here.
Oops. Gone.
They used to really like that because I always brought ones because I'm a server, because I'm in college, so I live off tips.
Mm-hmm.
Like most college students.
Credit or debit only.
That's actually crazy.
That could be a whole separate petition. But anyway, so I was going around this campus because I feel like the people here are robbed the most of it.
Yeah.
Because it's like, at least at the other version, they still have the dining halls, where the functionality isn't changed one bit. But here, it's like we only have that one place, and it's open from 10 to 1. So it's like, even if you had the minimum amount of meal swipes, it's so ridiculous what they've done to it.
Yeah, they made it so that it's not worth it unless you're on main campus, which is dumb because they push it really heavily to the extension campuses as being like, oh, well, this way you don't have to think about it. You can just buy food, whichever campus you're on.
Mm-hmm. The only part that's nice about it is is that you're separating buying something from it being a meal, but that $7.50 is just ridiculous to call it a meal equivalency. I kind of get turning what is a vague meal into a cash amount or a dollar amount.
But $7.50 doesn't cover what the previous meal was.
It should be at least 11, probably 14 or 15. I don't know.
I would say if they're that worried about it, most of the meals that I bought, I don't think I ever went over $12. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I think they could, if they were that worried about, make it 10 so that people only have to pay a couple of bucks on top of it. Mm-hmm. But don't make it so that they're paying half.
The way it doesn't even fully encapsulate an entree and a side is ridiculous. I would kind of understand if they wanted to remove the drink from what is a meal.
I think that's what they're trying to do.
But
it's annoying, but
$7.50 is crazy.
Yeah, because you can't get a meal anywhere for $7.50.
Wendy's.
Oh yeah, and I guess now
Wendy's.
True, you can get the faux, and now I don't know why I always call it that. Mm-hmm. I know it's the 4 for 4, but my brain always goes to faux.
Mm-hmm. You remember the time it threw me off? Yeah. You're like, you get your faux, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, the faux.
You're like 4 for 4.
Yeah. I picked it up at some point, and it was a vocal stim for a couple of years, and now it's just how I say it.
Yeah.
No, but now McDonald's has their
they do.
They have their $5. They're 4 for 5.
I don't think anyone calls it that.
That's what I call it.
Nice.
I know no one else calls it that. The fee fi fo fum meal.
But anyway, $7.50, outrageous.
No, yeah, that's genuinely crazy.
So, but I was going around here with flyers, and it was it was working well enough. And then my classes ended around, I think, 2:05 again, and I was like, should I do it? Should I travel the 40 minutes and go to main campus? Sure. And it's a little scary there, as I was texting you about, because like everyone has like a place to be. There's so many more people. You're in you like enter a little ecosystem that I've like never been in, and so
I really like main campus because I like how you the way the campus is set up. You kind of have the main like academic drag, and then everything else is kind of spread out across like. So it feels hustle and bustle, but it doesn't feel like cramped.
Mm-hmm. So I went to the dining areas I could find because I don't know shit about that place. And the response was like more mixed, I guess, because again, like I was saying, like the functionality on main campus isn't too affected. The main thing is that like now you can't get a sub even with the 750.
No, you
so
would
that's
not,
like that's the biggest proponent of the anger. But it was definitely effective because my petition went from like 150 signatures to like 450.
Yeah, no, because main campus, a bunch of the dining options are, even though like you have the all you can eat only exists in the dining halls, and of the dining halls only one of them is accessible to commuting students.
Mm-hmm.
So anyone that doesn't live on campus, and a lot of them live in sororities and fraternities, because there's a lot. I mean, it's not a party school by any means, but it has a strong party culture.
Mm-hmm.
Like all Wisconsin schools do, to be fair. No, but so I definitely know a lot of people that would be like, no, that's bullshit, because even people that are just like, my dorm doesn't have a dining hall in it.
Mm-hmm.
So they end up buying most of their food either like University Center or at the different, I mean, we're not a campus that has a bunch of restaurants on it the way that like, because there are some campuses that have like crazy amounts of like fast food on them that you can use your meal swipes for. Like my friend went to a school that had like in their University Center, they had like Panda Express, Subway. It was like a mall food court in there.
Inside the campus?
Yeah. And you could use your meal swipes for it.
Cool.
Because they were technically franchises owned by the campus.
Mm-hmm. So
they were able to accept different forms of money. It was really cool. But it's just not something that we have for our campus. Our campus makes deals with like Einstein Bros.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's an Einstein Bros over there, and Starbucks, because every school has a deal to sell Starbucks coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Proud to serve Starbucks coffee.
We proudly serve Starbucks.
Because Starbucks is willing to sell their coffee to anyone as long as you're willing to say that you sell it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a fucking icon. Every time you see that little "We proudly serve," it's like, okay.
Yeah, the hotel that I stay in the Dells sells. They sell Starbucks coffee. They actually have a little like separate kiosk just for their Starbucks coffee in the morning, because they're not like one of the ones that's just like, oh, like proud to serve Starbucks coffee. Like they are proud to serve Starbucks coffee. They had pumpkin spice lattes while I was there. Like it was crazy. It was more than just like having the coffee. They were actually making the Starbucks drinks, but it wasn't a Starbucks. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the Barnes and Noble's cafe situation, where it's like kind of Starbucks, but it isn't.
You can't call it a Starbucks. It's like they serve Starbucks.
Yeah.
But like not like the one in Target. It's like that's a Starbucks.
Yeah, that's a Starbucks within the Target, but at like
my
Barnes
brother worked there. They call it Tarbucks.
I know someone that I have a friend that works there, and she told me that that's what they call it.
Tarbucks. I love that.
Tarbucks.
Mm-hmm.
No, but that's why I thought it was really funny. I personally don't drink Starbucks coffee right now. I'm personally boycotting Starbucks because of their anti-union activities.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people think that anyone that's boycotting Starbucks is doing it because they think it's attached to the BDS Palestine boycotts, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole separate boycott that I'm a part of, because I have friends that work at Starbucks, so I'd like them to be able to unionize, even though the Target Starbucks will not be able to unionize because it's not technically a Starbucks.
Yeah.
According to Starbucks corporate. Mm-hmm. But the Barnes and Noble's cafes, even though I think in some of them they're wearing Starbucks uniforms, but they are Barnes and Noble's employees.
Yeah.
Like 100%. They are not Starbucks employees. They get trained by Starbucks managers, but they are not Starbucks employees, which I think is really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the fact that like I always thought, I was like amazed when Do you remember Kmart?
A little bit.
Do you
I don't
remember-
think I was ever in one. But I remember, like,
'Cause
as I
the
was growing
one-
up, it was kind of like my mom and dad would talk about, like, what Kmart used to be. And it's like, oh, yeah, you guys don't, like, really have, like, Kmart.
Yeah, because the one that used to be here had a Little Caesars in it.
That's an interesting integration.
Yeah, and it was like I'm talking like it had, you know how at Walmart they have like the like whole Subway restaurant right by the door.
Yeah.
So imagine that, but instead of being right by the door, it's in like the back corner.
Right.
There was just
where
a
the
whole
deli would be.
Yeah, there was just like a whole little
crazy.
Yeah, but it's a Kmart, so it's a department store with like toys and clothes and like imagine Sears, but it has a Little Caesars in it.
Yeah.
But I remember one of my friends' older siblings worked there. So every time my dad and I went to Kmart, she would hook us up with free Crazy Bread.
Wow.
So to this day, every time I think about Kmart, I think about Crazy Bread from Little Caesars.
That's funny.
And it's like, wow, I love that brand. I'm so glad that brand association is there. Thank you, Kmart.
Yeah. It's pretty unique. I don't know if
Because Little Caesars Crazy Bread still exists, even though Kmart does not.
if P, then Q. But yeah, it was nerve-wracking to go up to tables with my little
Yeah.
papers. Yeah. I nailed it near the end, but when I was on a streak of like, no, not really, that was tough.
Yeah.
They'd be like, do you feel screwed over by the changes to the meal exchange? And they'd be like, no.
I mean, at
I'd be
least
like,
you have like
okay.
at least you have like an actual cause like
Yeah.
behind you.
Well, and like
'Cause-
I said, it's not very like, it's not super yes or no. I feel like the people who don't feel like angry about it are just the people who didn't really have a meal plan or are freshmen.
Yeah.
There were a lot of those where I was like, do you feel screwed over by the changes in the meal plan? They're like, I'm a freshman. And then I would also like bring up like, it's like, okay, so if
So
you,
how
yeah,
do you feel like this is fair compared
Exactly.
to like when you were in high school? Like that's what I would be hitting them with, because that's
that, and then I'd just say the meal plan is not what it used to be. Like just last year, it was a meal and an entree, a side, and a drink. And then they're like, oh, interesting. And I'm like, they didn't change the price of it. And so, yeah.
I wonder if, like, because I know I can think of how many times I was ordering food, and before, like, while I was finishing ordering, I was watching them ring it in different ways so that it would work for like a meal swipe or whatever. And then I would be like, oh, I'm paying cash, and they'd like re-ring it a different way because it would be cheaper to ring it in a different way than the meal swipe way. So now I wonder if they all feel a little guilty, because that's probably part of why. Is because they were trying to help out the students, but it's because like you have to realize how many students are going to be relying on that for their meal of the day.
Well, they also switched dining providers.
Oh, did they?
So yeah, I think that's why all of this happened.
Yeah, that's definitely why.
But it's still so people in the Snapchat, because I had to rejoin the Snapchat story for this one after
Unfortunate.
proudly leaving it for a year, because it is insane over there. Because they have like because we're on like a branch of that campus, so I was on that one where it's like calm. It's like, you know, people asking for like notes every now and then. On the other one, because you get like the surrounding 3 years of people.
I hate
and it's
it.
just, and especially
the
the
worst.
freshman one sucks, because it's a lot of people like here are my interests I want people to hang out with, and it's like it's just so annoying to click through. But I had
no,
to
it's not
join
just
that
the
one.
freshman one. I was on the I only left my stories like immediately after I graduated, because I was so sick of everyone constantly posting like, oh, here's my interest looking for friends. Like, here's my interest looking for a roommate next week. I'm subleasing, subletting, this is that. Here's this. Who has this professor? Who is that? I'm like, can you guys all shut up?
Right.
No one cares. No one's gonna fucking swipe up on your story. And we got to the point where there were like little celebrities on there.
Oh,
Like there
we
was
have
there was a guy that was constantly posting on there, constantly getting into fights. Everyone knew who he was. We all called him by his online name, which was Indiana Jones. So that's how I'm going to refer to him. But Indiana Jones would also post like extremely long videos of him playing this fucking like horse game that's downloaded on some of the computers on main campus.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, like a little kid's like equestrian game, you know, ride around on the horse. But he would be posting like 5-minute long videos of his screen talking
We
about
have a lol cow.
Yeah, no, we had lol cows on the fucking story. It was insane. And then once I finally left it, because like the thing that pushed me over was when Israel-Palestine started happening. There are a lot of Palestinians in my graduating class, and there were a lot of people that were like, if Palestinian people posted anything, it like pro-Palestine, it would be like an immediate barrage of like Zionist shit. And I was like, I don't want to see you justify genocide for 6 things. And then I go to and then I'm getting, the 2 classes above me who aren't even in college, so I'm not getting anything from that's useful. The 2 classes below me, which I don't care,
Right.
because why does it why do you automatically
I wish you
see
could
those?
mute different years.
Exactly.
I would mute the freshmen.
No, and now it's insane because now that I left them, Snapchat won't fucking stop bugging me about joining my high school or college Snapchat. I'm like, I don't
even though your birth year is set to
even
crazy.
though I was in the I know it because now it's like, well, stay connected with your class. I'm like, I don't fucking want to. If I wanted to stay connected with them, I would have added them from the story, because I did with people that I wanted to stay connected to, people that like we would chat a little bit or whatever. I added, and we still talk every so often, whatever. But I'm not. It's the way that it could be such a good thing, because I loved having the Snapchat story when it was like when Sister Cindy showed up on campus and people were posting about that, so I knew where to find her. I was like, cool, I can go and watch that now, because my class got canceled the day that she was there, so I was able to sit there the entire time. I got my signed Ho No Mo pin. I was so excited. I have a picture somewhere with her. I'll send that to you so we can put it in. Editing Nolynn, press M.
Press M! That one's loud. Wait, okay, because I'll be watching in 2 times speed or 4 times speed. Press
No, but so like, and there's this one guy that shows up constantly to protest abortion. He sits right in front of the UC and just has pictures of aborted fetuses and tells you you're going to hell. Because what else would you do with your time? Duh. So like getting that kind of updates was cool, and it was like cool. When there was stuff going on campus and I wasn't there, like, I don't remember if it was last year or the year before, there was, like, I was getting ready for class and I got an email that a woman had been found after she had broken free of someone's basement after being kidnapped and held there, and she was like a student. And he lived really close to campus, and they thought that he was going to come and and because she had ran to campus and gone into like a dormitory, they were worried that he was going to come and try to find her. So they had like shut down. It was like the only time I've ever seen them fully shut down campus, at least for like a couple hours. And then, I think once they had him in custody by like noon, they brought it all back. But I wouldn't have seen the email if I hadn't been checking my Snapchat story that morning, and I would have driven out to Nolynn. I'm like, oh, I'm here during like a horrific experience, and this is like an active crime scene. Cool, awesome, great.
But people on the Snapchat story were like sort of trying to defend the switch and saying that like it's on the new company that for these meal plan changes. And like I sort of agree that like maybe our university was pressured into these changes and they knew we would be upset, but it's still on them for not notifying everyone.
Yeah, if nothing else, there should be an apology for how no one was for the lack of transparency.
Exactly. Because I
think if you changed your wording to be even if they can't roll back these changes, we'd like an apology for not being transparent about it before we all paid money for it.
They shouldn't even have called it weekly meal plan in the first place. It should have said weekly meal equivalency, and then that would have like had an alarm bell in my mind. I'd be like, oh wait, what is this? And then I'll read all about it. It literally everything looks the same except in those little purple drop downs there's just like what is meal equivalency and just a little section.
Oh yeah, no,
and that's the only like difference.
Yeah, where you technically if you gone and checked everything the way that because you're supposed to reread everything every year.
But even in the meal plan enrollment, when you enroll and you get the email that's like, here are the terms and conditions, please read it so you know what to expect. Like that. So I looked in there and I was ready to see like, oh, technically I was supposed to, even in the terms and conditions, they did not say anything about meal equivalency.
Oh.
Even in the like, read this so you know what to expect, nothing about meal equivalency.
Oh. Yeah,
so,
no, that feels like shady.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that feels.
So that's where it's like, it's on the university.
That's
and I get where the people are coming from when they're like, no, it's like our dining services and it has nothing to do with the university. They were pressured in this change. You know, they wouldn't have done it.
But they could have handled it better.
Absolutely.
That's the thing. Yeah, they're not. I don't think in that change they're considering their low-income students either, because there's a lot of students who would be signing up for like expensive-ass meal plan, expecting one way, and then now they have to completely rebudget.
Yeah.
For the entire semester, because now they have to pay on top of whatever when they weren't expecting to have to. Like that's.
It's just weird that like, because today I got chicken tenders and waffle fries. Don't even get me started. I should say.
I love waffle
fish
fries.
stick flavored chicken tenders and waffle fries. And like it was $7.99 and I had to pay the 50 cents with dining dollars. And that is ridiculous. That is crazy. And I guess I kind of get it because they do force you to either buy $50 dining dollars or $100 dining dollars when you enroll in a meal plan, which is like kind of weird in the first place. But I guess if it's just weird. It's so weird. It's so weird. Why doesn't a meal equivalency buy a meal? I don't.
Yeah, it's not.
Call it entree equivalency.
Yeah. Or just call it budget. Call it meal budget.
Meal budget. Enroll in meal budget.
Enroll in meal scholarship. It only pays half.
Yeah. Meal grant.
And meal that for real meal FAFSA. Just call it what it is.
Wow, that was a long segment. That was a super long segment, but
it's fine.
It was a big thing, yeah, and something I don't normally do because like usually when like policies change, especially if it's like online or something, like I'm not gonna like start a change.org about the Fortnite locker changing layout and how mad that makes me. But it's like when it's my own university and when it's like people I know are going to stay quiet about it. Like they're going to complain about it. They're going to post about it, but they're not really going to like email anyone or, you know, have these discussions about like, well, why didn't the university tell, you know, that's where like, I just felt like it is something I'm capable of doing is like printing out the flyers, starting the change.org, you know, it's like, I know I'm capable of doing all that. So it just felt like my duty in some ways to like be the one kind of leading it. But I'm also like, not like the face of it. Like, my profile picture's on the change.org, but I'm not the one going around like, I'm making the changes to the meal plan. Yeah. You know, I'm letting it kind of.
You're not like fucking.
First slouch. I'm going to slouch a little bit. 1 hour, 5, 6, 7. I've deserved it.
It happens. It happens. I realized I was slouching a little bit ago and then I sat back up and now I'm back into the
You've
slouch.
become the sloucher.
It's comfy and my back hurts and it's later in the day.
Says a lot.
Says a lot about society today. Kids today be slouching. I don't know. I'm glad that you had an interesting week because I really didn't. I didn't have shit to say this week, so I'm glad that I'm glad that the 5-hour energy hit.
It did. It did. Thank you, 5-hour energy.
Maybe instead of drinking 5-hour energy, we find a different. Maybe we need to just start drinking Mountain Dew.
I can't do soda. I haven't done soda since 2019. I'm not going to start now.
You don't want to start with the dew?
Not really.
I just had to think. I was trying to think of like the most caffeine rich like soda I could. And I was like, you can buy it.
Funny. Mellow Yellow has more caffeine than Mountain Dew.
Does it?
But it always seemed like Mountain Dew Light, you know? Yeah. But no, Mellow Yellow has more.
That's crazy.
It was either more caffeine or more sugar, I guess. It might have been sugar.
Maybe. That makes more sense. I feel like Mellow Yellow is a lot sweeter. Because I know Mountain Dew is a crazy high caffeine intake. I used to know a guy that would fill his bong with Mountain Dew as a special treat. He would also put a couple ice cubes in it. Sure. And every time when he would like tell me about it and I'd be like, well, did you drink it when you were done? And he'd be like, no, ew, why? I'd be like, because it's Mountain Dew weed tea at that point, isn't it? He's like, no. I'm like, feels like you're just wasting dew at that point. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. Because it wasn't even like a one-off thing for him. It was something that he did like with shocking regularity. I was like, that can't be good for your lungs. Inhaling like Mountain Dew steam. Yeah. It can't be good for you. I feel like It's gonna create like a new cancer.
Yeah, or a new global pandemic even. We don't know.
I feel like that's gonna it's gonna turn COVID-19 into COVID-20, and it's gonna be antibiotic resistant because it's gonna be fueled by pure Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
You could drink water Joe. I used to drink those when I was working mixed, and I would be clopeting at Cracker Barrel because that's just water that has caffeine in it.
Right.
And it doesn't taste bad. Some water that claims that tastes like almost metallic, you know?
Yeah.
Or at least like water that's like, oh, water with added electrolytes. Nah, it tastes like the metal. That it tastes like you stuck a metal rod in here and like shocked it, and not in a good way.
Yeah. We can talk about DiDi.
Yeah.
We watched a movie.
We did. I forgot that. I forgot. It feels like a lifetime ago.
Yeah, because it was after last podcast, and then they come out like a week later. It's
That's crazy.
Yeah,
we saw DiDi like 2 days before it left theaters.
Literally the last day it was in theater. We actually had the last showtime of DiDi at that theater, because again, and if you go further up to the bigger theaters, it's still there. Yeah, maybe. But we caught the last one in our little area. Yeah, and I really liked it. Yeah. I'm still surprised I didn't cry when DiDi, spoilers ahead, when his mother actually apologized. Yeah, because usually this sounds really fucked up, but usually like the scene where a mother apologizes makes me sob. Because I love my mom, but her and I have never been great at apologizing for stuff like that. So whenever I see it, I'm always like, yeah. But it was the way I was locked the fuck in. It was the way she formatted her apology, because it was when, again, spoilers, DiDi runs away, and then her apology is kind of like, well, your sister also ran away, and she was more of a brat than you are, so I knew you'd come back. And I couldn't tell if they were like actually going for an emotional moment or like trying to frame her as like a bad person. They picked like something very realistic. Yeah, I liked it. They didn't make it like an overly like sappy, like it was a real apology. Written apology. Yeah. It was more realistic, I guess, and it felt like something. It did feel like if I had like come home and knew that and I like heard a speech from my dad that he'd been like working on in his head for a couple of hours. Yeah. Like it very much felt like that, which is what it was. And I loved how realistic it was. I know for you, this sounds bad. It might not have hit as hard for you because you don't remember that era of the internet at all. Not really. Not at all. Whereas for me, that was the internet that I started on. Yeah. Like that watching DiDi reminded me a lot of like, I was a little younger than him at that point, obviously, because he's what, 13 in that movie? He's like 13 in 2008. Yeah, I think he's like 14 turning 15, something like that. Yeah, because he's going into his freshman year. So he just turned 14. But so it reminded me a lot of like going on the internet and seeing other people that I would be like, oh, like my age, but they were a bit older than me, because in 2008 I was 7. Yeah. So that was when I was first like starting to find the internet. I was first starting to like get into YouTube. I was first exploring beyond like what my dad showed me, whatever. So I thought that was really interesting, because I remember being that kid that was just like recording stuff, like just recording me and my friends dicking around and posting on YouTube. Like I think I explained that a little bit, but like most of the videos that were on my YouTube until like this year were videos of like me and my friends at the park, me singing in my room, like me I vividly remember that there were at least 4 or 5 videos that me and like my friends from elementary school made, because we wanted to be we wanted to make vlogs. So we were making vlogs together, and but we were also like 13, so they're just like a sequence of clips that we put together that we had recorded on my, like on my laptop with my webcam, and all glorious 13 pixels of it. Like, so it was. But I also, like, I know if I, like, made my brother watch that movie, my brother's 15 years older than me, he would have an entirely separate, because he would remember having a MySpace account. I remember watching my brother use MySpace, but I never had a MySpace account. That was why I thought it was funny. I remember
there's that first shot where we're showing his MySpace page, where we're showing her the girl he likes MySpace page, and it was showing like her top 8, and I was sitting there and I was looking at it, and all of a sudden, like after it clicked away, I was like, I wonder if Nolynn knows what a top 8 is.
Like I roughly get it based on like context clues, but yeah, we definitely had a different experience like reading those MySpace, because for me it's like I don't know what I'm like looking for. I see a bunch of like profile pictures and I know like you choose your song and like customize it a little bit.
Yeah, so your top 8 was your top 8 friends, and you picked them, and you could change them as much as you wanted, and you could change the order and everything like that. So it was a big deal to be on someone else's top 8.
Right.
Because your top 8 was usually like your partner, your best friends, and maybe your sibling if you were close. If you were close. And that was public to everyone. Anyone could check your top 8. It was a huge deal to be, people would get famous from being in famous people's top 8s. That was like, I remember people, there used to be like sweepstakes to be in, like, when Jeffree Star was big, I remember he held a sweepstakes to be in his top 8 at one point.
Wow.
Because Jeffree Star got started on MySpace.
Right.
Jeffree Star went on Warped Tour. But also, fuck Jeffree Star. I don't like him. I don't. There's been so much over the years, and I used to, and like, the late 20 teens. But then a lot of the stuff started coming out, and I was like, ugh. And then it was all like non-apologies and then like no real changed behavior, like just a continuing pattern of shitty behavior. And now he owns that fucking yak ranch and is like trying to be weirdly conservative about non-binary people, even though he literally has songs about wanting to embrace androgyny and escape gender. What do I know? Fuck, what do I know? What would I know about that experience?
Yeah,
So
I expected to cry more from DiDi, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, that isn't us dogging on the movie at all.
No,
either.
not at all.
It was such a good movie.
It's cool.
I did really enjoy that. There's a good chunk in the movie where DiDi is trying to be a filmer for a group of skaters. Which is also like such dated terminology now. Like that's not like a thing anymore. Because now they all want to be called videographers.
Of course.
But
so I can put it on my resume.
Oh yeah, because now they're all like professionals and shit. It's like a business now. It all sucks. The scene is gone, man. No, but so he's trying to be a filmer for this group of like older skaters, which I also appreciate the fact that they were very aware of the fact that he was younger than them. Like the whole time the way that they talked to him was so different from how they talked to each other. And I appreciated that from like, as me, I could recognize how differently they were treating him, but I know that if I had been DiDi, I wouldn't have recognized it. Being the younger kid who doesn't know, because I was the younger kid that had all the older kids that like, I was there, but I wasn't as in their friend group as I thought I was. And I really liked that. First of all, DiDi didn't get good at filming that quickly.
Right.
That all the clips sucked. Because that's very realistic, especially because at the time the cameras were so bad. It was hard to be a filmer at home without a nice camera.
Well, and like he even Googles like filming techniques, and so I was expecting that like his first stuff would be bad, but as he grows, he like really gets close with this group and makes them really good shit. But like even his like later stuff as they're checking it out, because they kind of go in like a shuffled order with what they're watching, but even his like when he's like applying these techniques he learned, they're kind of like, I don't know about that one. And I thought that was really cool, is to like show that like he's like DiDi is trying his best, and that's still like not enough sometimes.
Well, yeah, and especially because that's such like, that is a skill that is built, like it's a muscle memory that you have to learn. So even though some of his later shots were okay, they still weren't great. You could see better what was going on, but you still really couldn't. And
they were just disappointed because like he called himself a filmer. They were like, we need a filmer. And he's like, yeah, I'm a filmer.
Yeah, and they were like, so you just lied to us, like, And then he got into a fight with his mom.
Yeah. Oh, and then they were like, "Don't disrespect your mom like that."
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a cool touch.
Yeah, right after that, because they all just kind of show up to his house and like go up to his room because, you know, at their age that's not like a thing, but for DiDi that's weird.
Yeah.
And so they go upstairs, and I liked the little touch that none of them took their shoes off, and DiDi didn't ask them to. Because I don't know if you noticed, but in that shot, all of them had their shoes off there because in Asian households, a lot of the time you take your shoes off as soon as you walk in.
I think there was a shot where it was like on the camera and it showed everyone stepping in with their shoes.
And I thought that was a really nice touch to just show that like DiDi didn't, he wasn't willing to like, even though that's such like a minor thing that they never would have said anything about, like, oh, take your shoes off when you come in. Oh, okay. Like,
but he wants to look cool in front of his old friends.
Yeah, so he didn't bother respecting like his culture or his mother's house realistically. But that's just a little thing that I liked. But right after they're going through like the stuff, and he's kind of like DiDi is already feeling awkward because of it. His mom comes in, meets his new friends for the first time, and is kind of overwhelmed by the fact that that's a bunch of older men in her son's room. I would probably be just as like new friends. Like who are these people? And then DiDi immediately is like, "Mom, get out of my fucking room."
Yeah, well, and because she tries to be like open and nice, and I think she says something about like your laundry's done, or like do you want me to make you some food? And so then DiDi's like, yeah, she's just annoying like that.
She was
I'm so sorry
like
about her.
apple slices.
Exactly. So then DiDi's like, yeah, she's always annoying, and then the older kids are like recognizing like, dude, don't talk about your mom like that.
And they're like, she wasn't even being annoying. Like, she's like making very polite conversation, like average parent conversation with them. A lot of like, oh, like how do you guys know each other? Stuff like very rational questions to when you walk in your room and your 14-year-old son is like surrounded by a bunch of greaseball, like 17 to like however old they were supposed, like they were very clearly supposed to be like, if not in college, like 17, 18, 19, 20. Like I just thought it was so funny when they were like, dude, don't talk to your mom like that. Because it's so real. Once you hit like a certain, because I mentioned it to you on our way back when you were driving me back, and being someone that was like older with a lot of younger friends, having to have that conversation with my friends being, no, don't talk to your parents like that. Yeah, they love you, like that. they're just doing their best, man. Don't worry about it. No, I'm not gonna go and buy a vape for you. I'm taking you home. I got asked to buy vapes a lot. Yeah. Well, especially once I got asked to buy vapes a lot because they knew I had a boyfriend that was over 21 that was willing to buy he was willing to buy me alcohol because allegedly because I was his girlfriend. But that was more of a, I'm buying something and I'm bringing it home, and we live in the state of Nolynn where it's legal if I'm with my guardian, and I was. Okay? Because it is. A heavy disclaimer, it's illegal.
Throw that on screen.
Big bright letters.
Top text, bottom text, legal moment.
That's such I love that rule exists in multiple states. It's like the opposite of states where like you can't buy liquor on Sundays, and like I don't remember what they're called. There's like a name for those, like stricter liquor sales laws, but I don't remember what they're called. I know that the strictest
for
ones
audio
are called.
Listeners, I shrugged.
I know that the strictest ones are just called like dry states, because you just can't. It's hard to get alcohol. Whereas here, as long as your parent says it's okay and they hand it to you, you can legally drink alcohol at any age. But I think that makes sense too. I've always thought it was. But I'm also a person that's like, why can I sign up to go to a war at 18, but I can't buy a vape or drink alcohol? Either make it all 21 or make it all... Because I think making it all 21 would also make sense, because that's also about when you're getting out of college too.
Yeah, for sure.
Either make it all 21 or all 18. But I still think that no matter what, you should be an adult at 18.
Yeah.
You can be like a legal adult and like buy a house, but it's weird.
And there's the whole like drive a car at 16 and
which is I have like European friends that think that's insane that we let 16-year-olds drive.
Yeah.
Especially because around here you can get a learner's permit at 15 and a half.
Yeah.
I didn't get my learner's permit until I was 17. But
I was on that shit. Like my parents made sure I was like, as soon as I was able to do stuff, I was doing it. And at the time that was like shitty, but then I very quickly became just like the one who can give people rides, you know?
See, I kind of ran into the issue of my birthday was so late in the year because like my birthday's in May. So I was always the last birthday of my friends anyway. So I had a ride.
Right.
You know, because I had friends whose birthdays were in. My best friend in high school's birthday is in October.
Right.
So.
Yeah, so you're saying later in the school year.
Yeah, so I didn't. So I didn't have to worry about needing a ride to and from places all the time because I had friends that could do that. So I didn't need to worry about getting my license right away because between my dad was always super willing to drive me around. I live with my grandma, and when she could still drive, she was willing to drive me around. Ace had a license. My best friends all got their licenses before me because they all turned 16 before I did. So my passenger princess arc started early.
Yeah.
I've always been the passenger princess. I have my license, but I'm not gonna drive. I drive here.
Yeah.
But it's currently because I can't see very well. I have astigmatism, so driving at night sucks. I can't see. So I can, but it's so hard because I drive. For those who don't know, I drive a Ford Focus. So it's little and it's low to the ground. And we live surrounded by SUVs and trucks.
Oh, yeah.
It's all SUVs and trucks around us. So it's all straight to the eyeballs. Those nice blue LEDs straight to the eyeballs. And when you have astigmatism...
That makes the lines...
Yeah, you get that little
the
star
lens
across
flare.
it. Yeah, I get a lens flare. So between...
You're like, wow, my driving looks so cinematic right now.
Yeah, it's like,
Kill me.
Oh my God, I can see so much of the road right now. No, but so I just hate, because of that, that's my legitimate reason for disliking driving is because I only like driving if I know I'm going to be home by dark. And with who I am as a person, I'm usually not.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually, going out after I'm doing stuff or in the afternoon or 99% of the time I'm going out for dinner and then somewhere. So it's like, I'm not going to be home before dark.
Yeah. But it was sick seeing DiDi.
It was.
I've known Jesse since this time last year, friends since December, and we'd seen 0 movies. And I get 2 free tickets a day.
That's
so it was
true.
sick to actually get to do that with you.
Heck yeah.
And I should, every time there's one of those more artistic films, should I send over a little invite? Because I know, like, you don't really have, like, the, like, urge to see, like, the bigger blockbusters, but...
Yeah, no, I generally prefer, like, weirder artistic films. Just because I'm never worried about seeing blockbusters because I like watching things at home where I can have, like, headphones on and subtitles and I can pause and start, whatever. But for, like, artistic stuff like DiDi, I was like, I would like to see that in theaters. That'd be really interesting. Especially because I think it won awards at Sundance, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what it said.
Usually that's how those are marketed. And usually that's why they end up in theaters, I guess. If you're seeing something like that in a theater, it usually means it got some sort of traction at Sundance or whatever.
Well, and part of the thing is that the theater in town here is tiny and doesn't play anything like that. It plays blockbusters, which is fine. And it'll play, and it brings back stuff a lot where like it'll show like, oh, like Jurassic Park's being re-released. We're gonna show Jurassic Park because it's technically I think it's a Wildwood theater technically.
Yeah, I don't know if it still is. I think it still
is. It
is.
Yeah.
They renamed it to Movies because it was Movies 10, then it was Movie 16, and now it's just called Movies.
Well, because it's how many theaters it had.
Yeah, I know that.
So that's why they switched it to Movies because they don't ever have all of the theaters open at one time anymore. So not because of any like. I think it's just like a budget thing because there's just not that many people going to see movies in theaters at that specific one. Because there's so many like IMAX theaters within driving distance of here.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
But with the renovations they made to the one here, I now work at the like worst movie theater in the area, I think.
Oh, really?
Because it's the most like a movie ticket at AMC theaters is $12.
Yeah, it's like insane.
And 49 cents. Popcorn, oh, dude, would you like the small popcorn for $9.99 or would you like the large popcorn for $10.41?
Frankly, I can't believe when
$10.99.
I was so surprised when we went up and you told me that you got free popcorn and you were like, no one ever says they want the popcorn.
They never do.
I'm like, why would you not want the popcorn?
Because I think I'm usually going with people that are too scared to admit they want the popcorn.
I am not too scared. I am a fat bitch. I will eat the popcorn. Give me it.
But like,
my dad finished that popcorn, by the way. He says thank you.
Sick. Yeah. But people are usually too scared to accept it, even though I'm the one offering it. And I don't really know why. I'm usually like, I have a 50% discount on concessions too. But I can understand less of like why people would be jumping to. But it's sick getting the AMC chicken tenders for like $5. Nice. Comes with like 4 big chicken tenders. It's like, that's a deal.
Hell yeah, dude. No, yeah, I remember the first time I went to like, well, it wasn't the first time that I paid to go to like a theater besides the one in my hometown. I went to one in a couple cities over. Mm-hmm. And it's a bigger, like more touristy area. Bleep this out.
Press M.
Yeah. I just wanted to say that so that you knew to get an idea. No, but so I was going to a I went in and offered to pay because it was my boyfriend's birthday weekend. We were staying at my friend's house because we were house sitting for her parents, and house and dog sitting because she has at the time she had 3 dogs. Now she has 2. Well, I guess now she technically has 1 because she moved out of her parents' house again. But whatever. So we were doing that, and we were like, oh, we're gonna go and see Sonic 2 because Sonic 2 was in theaters. And I want to go and see it because they had an IMAX theater there. Yeah. So I was like, I want to go and see Sonic 2 in fucking IMAX. And we went, and they weren't showing it in IMAX. And we were pissed. We went to see it anyway.
IMAX is freaky because they only show shit in IMAX the 1 week it's out. You have Friday through Wednesday to catch something in IMAX, and then it's on to the new shit. I hate that. No, except Deadpool and Wolverine, which was in IMAX for like maybe 3 weeks.
That makes sense though.
And I think the one following that was Borderlands, so they were like,
Deadpool
and Wolverine.
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. No, but and this wasn't AMC or a Wildwood. I think it was Diamond Theaters or whatever that other one is called. Marcus Theaters. I don't know why I thought it was. I think it used to be called like Marcus Diamond Theaters or something like that when I was a kid, but I don't know. There's been so many random, like, I know those are like the big 3 around here. But there's been so many like smaller ones that have come and go that it's hard to keep track. We went to a Marcus Theater, and it was like $15 a ticket to see Sonic 2 in 3D, and we were like, what the fuck? And then to get a regular popcorn was $20. We were like,
that's so weird.
Damn.
Yeah, it's so sad because I hate working concessions, man. Because the families come up and they're like, oh, yeah, large popcorn for the kids to split, 2 drinks for me and my wife. And then I'm like, all right, that'll be like 27, maybe 32. I don't remember the exact number. It's somewhere between 27 and 32. And like, I hate it.
So much money. Hate it. Yeah, the one in town is cheaper concessions than most of the other ones.
Oh, yeah, and much cheaper tickets. They didn't even raise the price of their tickets after installing recliners, and I hugely respect that because I know
they didn't even take away cheap Tuesdays. We still have $8 Tuesdays or whatever it is.
I think it's $12 Tuesday now. I saw a little poster up, but either way, that's still
cheaper than most movie tickets around here.
But yeah, I know for a fact if my AMC installed recliners, they'd be like, "Oh, sorry, tickets are $13.99 now. $15 for Blockbuster. Sorry."
Yeah. It's kind of and they also they just pulled in the last couple of years they pulled their arcade out and put like a bar in there. So I think that's where they're kind of making up a bit of money too.
Yeah, which happened at mine too. It's funny because I've worked at 2 minimum wage movie theaters that replaced an arcade with a bar. Whole fucking Dr. Doofenshmirtz me in there.
Yeah.
But
which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
But yeah, it just sucks. And when they do re-releases through Fathom events, so like Coraline 3D, we're gonna get Blazing Saddles. They do like these re-releases every now and then.
Is Coraline 3D coming back again this year?
It already passed, I think.
Did it?
I can check, but
I don't remember. Well, because I know
it was around August 15th, but
that makes sense.
It was pretty popular. But what sucks is those tickets are $15 each with no child tickets.
What the fuck?
And because it's through a different distributor, so I have to explain that every time. And there's no senior rate, so people just get really fucking crabby.
I would too, dude.
And so it's a family of 4, and I think, what's 15 times 4?
60.
Fucking 60. So it's like adult, child, and then I have to
See,
be like,
we
total
can do
is
math.
60. No.
We can do math on this podcast.
And the total is 60. And they give me a weird look, and I'm like, it's through a different distributor. And it's like, I just hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
And I get that movie theaters aren't like super profitable because you have to pay out the studios, you have to pay, all that shit. But it's just so sad what has happened. Even like, even the discount Tuesdays are like, they couldn't even keep it $5 Tuesday. It is $6 Tuesday for just the ticket at AMC.
Yeah. No, I don't mind that our cheap Tuesday isn't as cheap as other places' cheap Tuesday tickets are because our concessions are so cheap.
Well, I think the $12 Tuesday here includes like a popcorn and a drink or something.
Yeah. It's crazy because I know, if I remember correctly, the meal that Ace and I usually get, which is a large popcorn and 2 medium drinks, is only like $17.
Mm-hmm.
Something ridiculous like that.
Yeah.
Which like it like if you had told me that 10 years ago, I would have punched you in the face for telling me it was that expensive. But comparing it to other places around us, that's a deal and a half. That's fucking highway robbery. I am stealing from them, especially because we still have free refills.
Yeah, we have free refills on drinks. Doesn't matter the size, but popcorn, it's like, we have the regular popcorn, which comes in a bag, and then the large popcorn, which comes in a tub. And because it's in a bag, technically it's unsanitary to refill it because like people touch bags different. So, we can't do refills on a regular. Sorry, you'd have to buy the large. Oh, it's only $1 more, but it's like the regular was already overpriced. So now because the large is $1 more, it's like now it's $11 for the large. Oh, sorry, you wanted free refills? Oh, you have to have the large. And I hate the whole business. I hate it so much.
It's so.
But some people will still be like, oh, that's pretty cheap, which is weird.
Compared to other theaters, it can be.
But it's like $11 for a large popcorn. They're like, oh, I was expecting much worse. Or even the tickets being like $12.49. And like, I guess I get it if you're coming from like bigger areas like Chicago, but like, it's kind of crazy when I get someone that's like, oh, what a steal. But yeah.
I miss when it wasn't so expensive to do things that are fun.
Yeah.
I think we need to bring back more third spaces.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying this as someone who adores third spaces. I mean, you know me, during the semester, I practically lived in a coffee shop nearby. So but I would live there or somewhere on campus. Like I love meeting people at a third party location that isn't one of our houses and hanging out and having a good time. Mm-hmm. Like I went to the lake. I went up to a lake like 40 minutes away from here.
There you go. Look at you not saying places.
Trying really hard. Oh. See, I even warned you when I had said a place because it was just for you. Mm-hmm. I'm learning. Gotta use my kidneys. For audio listeners, I point at my head when I said that because that's a joke that my dad's always said since I was a kid. Was whenever you do something, you're like, you're using them kidneys. And he taps the forehead. It's just a dad joke.
Yeah.
Picked up a lot of Dennis-isms in my time. Mm-hmm. Crazy how that works. Oh my God, we're at almost 2 hours.
We are.
We
spent a lot of time talking about the meal plan.
We'd be yapping.
Yeah.
Yapping and yakking.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to go for a couple more minutes or end it here?
I think we might need to end it here. I think we legally have to end it here. No, I think they've heard us rant about movies and theaters and and meal plans. Yeah. Enough this week. Especially now with the promise of a Roblox stream sometime in September.
Or bonus content.
It's probably gonna.
It'll be a stream.
It'll be a stream.
It'll be
me and Nolynn getting into Discord, calling me, being like, "Nolynn, show me how to set up my stream before we start."
That could be cool if we ever do bonus content someday. We just like 1 to 2 hours in one Roblox game. Yeah. And we master it. And then
we need to do. We need to get into some obbies and flex on them.
Oh yeah.
I need. Surprisingly, my Minecraft parkour skills did transfer over a bit.
We should have one that's like actually getting to the top of one of those freakishly tall obbies.
I think
that could be a stream. Stream ends when we reach the top.
Oh God. 36-hour long stream.
Yeah.
I think they have I think I saw a chain together a game, so we might be able to maybe we can find that. We'll see. We'll have to look over our options Further updates.
We could do the type of stream too where it's both of us in a room.
True. Yeah.
You know, I think I have a good room for that. With the way my shit's set up. I've sent you a picture of my setup before, right?
Yeah.
Widescreen monitor, duo guys.
Yeah.
27-inch guys.
I need a second monitor. But to be fair, the monitor that I use is from, I don't even know when. It's old. It's like 2008. I
have a 2008 monitor that I don't use anymore.
Well, because the fun thing about my setup, right, is that my setup is hell. Because my computer, the computer that we had before the tower that we have now, we had until we replaced it 2 or 3 years ago. Before that, it was running Windows Vista.
Of course.
Because it was the computer that my grandpa received when he retired.
Right.
In like 98? Oh no, it might have been later than that if it was Vista.
No, Vista was like
Vista was after Windows 98.
Yeah, well,
so
directly after? Was there one I'm forgetting? Nah, it was right after.
I think it was right after.
Yeah.
So he got it in like, I don't remember either of my grandparents working. So I think he retired like pretty soon after I was born. So that would have been in like the very early noughts. And yeah, and we used that until it got to the point that literally nothing was updating on it, and it was just sitting there because we couldn't do anything on it. And we finally got a new one from Best Buy. Yeah. And now it can run games, and that's why I'm finally able to actually pursue content creation meaningfully instead of just making my little TikToks. Please follow me on TikTok, Jessica.mp4.
We should be throwing little socials up. We should be introducing ourselves at the beginning of the podcast. We should be saying subscribe. We got 60 MFN views and I don't think one subscriber.
We didn't do a single YouTuberism. What are we doing?
We don't plug enough.
We don't.
We don't. If you made it to the end, subscribe.
If you actually listened to all of this, please subscribe. We do appreciate it. We would like to actually do this for more than just our friends and family.
Yeah.
As much as we love our friends and family. Hi, guys. All right. Well, further updates on the streams as events warrant. Hopefully we will be able to do that soon.
I love how we're making plans to do this as I start school.
Arguably, you have more time because your schedule is significantly more regular than it was. Because your work schedule is fucked all summer. My God.
Yeah.
It was so awful. But now
It kind of looked like spaghetti.
How many days a week are you working this semester?
It's honestly most weeks it's 2 to 3 days a week. Again, it's super irregular. Yeah. I don't get to say like I would like to work Friday night, Saturday night, and Tuesday night. They just kind of throw me in there whenever. Oh, you know.
Yucky.
Yeah, but
I always just changed my availability so I was only available on Friday, Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
If I do that though, then like it just closes off too many days. It's really. You gotta have.
It's not they'll move other people
as open as it can be because they try to give everyone an even amount of hours. So if like that means if I'm only getting one shift, everyone else is only getting one shift. It's not really like a hierarchy. Like there are some people they want there more than not. Usually those people end up getting promoted to crew leader though, so it makes sense that they're there.
That's just I don't know. I worked in restaurants for too long, because you have to remember that when I'm talking about working as a server and a shift lead. So it was really easy for me to walk in and be like, hey, I can only work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Or actually, I was just working Friday, Saturday because I work Sunday at my other job at the church, and I'm so tired after that. Some days I'm like, I don't want to work 2 public facing jobs actually in one day, one with children and one with the 65 plus children. One with the 65 plus crowd, because that's the average clientele at Cracker Barrel. No, but I would just work Friday, Saturday, and so they would just tell me whether I was serving or shift leading that week, and I would know if I was shift leading I was working 5 to 11 because I was closing because that's all they had me do because I got really good at it. And then if I was serving, I knew I was probably working 2 to 8 or 11 to 7.
And Sundays are so cursed in food service.
They are.
You just don't. If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. Like Sunday shifts are just insane.
Yeah, Cracker Barrel. It was always kind of funny because Cracker Barrel they get a huge church rush, obviously. So from like 10 to 2 is hell on earth at Cracker Barrel. Yes. And then the rest of the day, it's dead.
Mm-hmm. At Firehouse, it wasn't even the rest of the day. Like sometimes me and my brother would be able to just like scroll Amazon from like 2 to 3. Like we'd literally, nobody would come in.
Yeah.
Other times just 2 o'clock rush, 3 o'clock rush. And it would just, made me so mad.
So when I was still a minor working there, I could only work 5 hours at a time. So they could only schedule me 4-hour-long shifts. Because, you know, as a server, you have to do your side work afterwards. You have to finish out your tables. So that was how they would do it. Was if you were under 18, you only get scheduled 4-hour-long shifts. So you have an hour after that to clock out. And especially because we don't do breaks because it's serving. You really can't. So when I was still a minor and I was still willing to work on Sundays because I wasn't as burnt out, they would schedule me to work 1 to 5, which is an insane shift. No one else was ever scheduled that. Yeah. But they would do that because they would give me an entire dining room by myself. So that everyone that was working doubles could take their break. And then, so I would be there by myself from like 2 to 4. And then I would get there at once that people could finish up, you know, whatever. Right. And I made the most money those days, even though it was dead, because it was just me, just like in my groove, walking around. And I remember I was so mad when I turned 18 because I knew they were never going to schedule me that shift again. I was like, fuck. Because that's like my ideal. That was always my ideal serving shift, was like slow but steady, where I'm making money, but I'm not like ready to kill everyone around me. Yeah. But I also got really jaded by the time I was done serving.
Totally.
Which is why I stopped, because I was like, I'm getting mean now, and I don't want to be mean. Yeah. But people were mean to me for long enough that I started being mean to them, and I was like, no, I remember this pattern. We're escaping this cycle.
Yeah. But anyway, there's your 15 minutes of content past when we said we were done. We have to. It's what we do every week. Oops. It's part of the formula at this point. That's our 15-minute warning. Yes. We will catch you guys next week. I don't know if there's anything major happening between now and then. Beetlejuice, the movie titled Beetlejuice will be out. That is what is different. You want to see that?
I want to see that. I love Beetlejuice.
Come on over.
We should parlay about seeing Beetlejuice. All right. But we will catch you next week with probably an update about how your change.org petition is going. Yeah, I didn't do a whole lot today. Because my class was canceled yesterday, so I got a lot more time. I got like 2.5 hours to really like make my document, print them out. Nice. But today I didn't get to do a whole lot. But the signatures are just growing because more people are talking about it. More people are spreading around the screenshot and the paper. Yeah. So we're almost at 500 signatures. Nice. Yeah, and hopefully the first like full week of courses doesn't kill you actually real, not clickbait. Yeah. It's always up in the air whether or not you actually have to do the reading, because popular culture and the media didn't have to do the reading. No. Kind of understood that shit. I did it first, like for the first couple of weeks, and then I realized that I knew what all of the forms of rhetoric we were talking about were. And I was like, okay, cool. Because I loved how it was formatted. Like, you have to do the reading so you'll understand the lectures. And it's like, this is the feminist criticism. We will be talking about gender identity and we'll be going beat by beat through we'll be going beat by beat through the reading. I can follow this very simply. With a better example than was in the reading. Without even really taking notes. Yeah. But anyway. Right. We will have. There's your 2 minutes of bonus content past when we said it's fine. We're working on the outro. This is it's part of the process. It's just so hard to say goodbye. It is just we just love you guys so much. We've grown so close with you. We're all besties. You know, aren't we all classmates in our hearts? Check out our socials down below. We will have our link trees in the description. Check out we will be posting every Tuesday now. Officially, we can say that in the outro now. Yes. We will be posting every Tuesday, or at least as many Tuesdays as we physically can. If there's anything you'd like to see from us, actually, please let us know. Now, since we're getting some non-family and friends viewers. A little bit. They trickle in. I don't know if they watch the full thing. I hope they do. They might see, these people are too visibly queer. These fags. They looked really hot in the thumbnail, and it's not doing it. Man, but it's not a selfie. But us and our non-selfie faces. Yes. We'll catch you next Tuesday. Goodbye. Bye.